My fiancée, Tara, swiped my card for a $1,500 birthday dinner I wasn't even allowed to attend. I didn't scream or fight. I just let her world crumble. Tara, 28, and I, 33, had been together for 2.5 years. We met at a local pub's karaoke night, sparks flying over bad renditions of 80s hits. She was magnetic, confident, gorgeous, the kind of person who could light up a room. I fell hard, fast. I run a small landscaping business, built it from scratch into something solid. It's not flashy, but it pays the bills and then some. Tara works as a junior marketing assistant at a slick city agency. She'd talk about her job like she was running the show, even though her paycheck barely covered her designer bags. Early on, our relationship was magic. Weekend hikes, hole-in-the-wall taco joints, late-night drives with her singing off-key to my old rock playlists. But looking back, there were cracks. Little jabs about my work boots, sly comments about my beat-up Jeep, the fact she never once brought me around her work friends. Love makes you blind, doesn't it? About 6 weeks ago, Tara was knee-deep planning a big company gala at a swanky downtown hotel. She was stressed, snapping about every detail needing to be perfect. One night, scrolling Instagram, she mentioned, "Claire from marketing's bringing her fiancé. He's some hotshot accountant." I shrugged, casual, and asked, "Can you bring someone?" Her pause was quick but sharp, like a skipped heartbeat. "I mean, you could come," she said, not looking up. "But it's just stuffy corporate types. You'd be bored." I offered to help with costs. She'd been dropping hints about her rent spiking, and I didn't want her stressed. So I covered her gala dress, $500, a sleek emerald number, and chipped in $250 for a gift basket for her CEO. Not pocket change, but I could handle it. Night of the gala, I suited up, best jacket I own, fresh haircut, feeling good. Picked her up in my Jeep. Tara barely glanced at me, just asked if I grabbed the gift basket. At the hotel, she started walking faster, like she was trying to lose. Me in the lobby. "Maybe hang at the bar," she said sharp, stopping short of the ballroom. "I gotta handle some stuff." I frowned. "I'll come with. Maybe I can help." She sighed, irritated, but didn't argue. The ballroom was stunning. Chandeliers, past hors d'oeuvres, open bar. Tara spotted her co-workers and beelined, over me trailing. A woman in a red dress grinned. "Tara, this looks incredible. Who's this?" I stuck out my hand, but Tara cut in, voice tight. "This is Jake, my ride for tonight." The air froze. Her co-worker blinked, confused, eyeing my suit. "Your ride?" Tara laughed too loud. "Yeah, he was sweet enough to drop me off. But he's heading out now, right, Jake?" It was like a slap. 2.5 years. And I'm her ride? I pulled her aside, voice low. "What the hell was that?" She rolled her eyes, checking over her shoulder. "Look, these are big players. My job's on the line. Just wait in the car, okay?" I reminded her, calm. "I paid for half this party. That dress you're wearing?" "Me," she snapped, eyes cold. "You should be lucky I even brought you here." That moment, it clicked. All her snide comments, the distance. She was ashamed of me. I didn't yell. Just nodded, said, "You're right," and walked out. Grabbed my coat, drove home, silence screaming in my head. By the time I cracked a beer at my place, my phone was blowing up. 15 missed calls, texts from Tara. "Where are you? You left me stranded. Stop being dramatic." I ignored them, shut off my phone, and felt free. Next morning, Tara showed up at my door, eyes puffy but makeup perfect, like she'd rehearsed her tears. "You just left me there," she whined. I leaned on the doorframe. "You called me your ride, Tara," she scoffed. "It was a joke. God, you're so sensitive. These people matter to my career. I didn't want them thinking I'm with some landscaper." She looked ashamed for a split second, then flipped to tears, her go-to move. "I was stressed, okay? I'll make it up to you. Let's take a trip. Just us." She touched my face, whispering, "I love you." I let her think I bought it, made her coffee, acted normal. She left, convinced we were fine. A week later, Tara called, bubbling with excitement. "Babe, my birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm throwing a dinner at that new upscale place, Vino's. Super exclusive." I kept my tone neutral. "Sounds fun." She hesitated. "Yeah, but I'm kinda broke after the gala. Could you help cover it?" I asked, already knowing. How much? Like $1,500 for the private room. They need a card on file. I said, sure, I'll put my card down. Just tell me when. She squealed, you're amazing. Next day, she swung by to grab the card. I handed it over, not my usual one, but she didn't notice. I asked casual, so what time should I show up? Her smile flickered. Oh, it's just work people. Boring marketing stuff, you'd hate it. Got it, I said, nodding like I understood. She kissed me quick, said, thanks for being the best, and left. That's when I started planning. The day of Tara's birthday dinner, I called my bank and reported the card I gave her as misplaced. They canceled it instantly, issued a new one, no questions asked. I didn't feel guilty, not after being reduced to her ride after 2.5 years. That night I put on my sharpest suit, better than the one from her gala, and drove to Vino's. I wasn't crashing her party. I was setting the stage. I slipped into the bar area, tucked behind a frosted glass partition, with a clear view of the private dining room. The setup was perfect. Dim lighting, just enough cover, but I could see everything. At 7:00 p.m., Tara arrived, glowing in a sapphire dress I'd never seen. Must have been new. Her co-workers trailed in, all polished and loud, plus a guy I didn't recognize, tall, slick suit, hovering close. His hand grazed her waist and she didn't pull away. She leaned into it, laughing, her eyes sparkling in a way I hadn't seen in months. I ordered a whiskey, neat, and watched. They toasted, clinked glasses, snapped selfies. Tara was in her element, commanding the room like a queen. Not the stressed, nitpicky girlfriend I knew, always complaining about her dead-end job. This Tara was vibrant, untouchable. The co-worker from the gala, the one who'd heard her call me her ride, was there too, whispering to another woman, glancing around. Did she suspect something? I sipped my drink, heart pounding, waiting for the moment. At 9:30, the server brought the check. Tara, all confidence, waved off her co-workers' offers to split it. It's my birthday, guys, my treat, she chirped, handing over my card with a flourish. I smirked into my glass. The server walked away. Minutes ticked by. Then he returned, leaning close to Tara, his face apologetic. Her smile faltered. She fumbled for her phone, probably checking her banking app, then started typing furiously. My phone buzzed in my pocket. Text from Tara. Jake, the card's declining. Call me now. This is serious. Another. I look like a fool in front of everyone. $1,500 bill. Fix this. I didn't reply, just watched. Tara's face shifted, from confusion to panic. She tried another card from her wallet, probably maxed out given her complaints about debt last month. Her co-workers shifted awkwardly, exchanging glances. The guy with the wandering hands looked annoyed, leaning back in his chair. Tara excused herself, voice tight, and stepped into the hall, dialing my number. I let it ring. She sent another text. Where are you? This isn't funny. I'm humiliated. I typed back, slow, deliberate. Look to your left. Her head snapped up, eyes scanning the room. When she spotted me at the bar, her face drained of color like she'd seen a ghost. I paid for my whiskey, grabbed an envelope from my jacket, and walked toward the dining room, steady, calm. The room hushed as I stepped in, every eye on me. Tara froze, her mouth half open. The gala co-worker's jaw dropped, recognition flickering. Jake? Tara squeaked, voice barely audible. I smiled, smooth, addressing the table. Hi, everyone, I'm Jake. Or, as Tara told you at her work gala, her ride. Actually, I'm her fiancé. 2.5 years. I pulled photos from the envelope, us at a lake house, Christmas with my family, a road trip to the coast, and spread them on the table. I also paid for her gala dress, her boss's gift basket, and oh, that card she just tried to use? Mine. Cancelled it yesterday. Reported lost. The silence was deafening. The guy by Tara scooted his chair back like he wanted to disappear. The co-worker from the gala leaned forward, eyes wide, piecing it together. Tara's boss, a stern woman, at the table's head, stared at the photos, then at Tara, her expression hardening. Jake, please, Tara hissed, grabbing my sleeve. Can we talk outside? No need, I said, voice light but firm. Just wanted to wish you a happy birthday, Tara, and let you know the bill's on you tonight. I turned to the table. Enjoy your evening, folks, Tara's voice cracked. Loud now. You canceled it? You can't do this. I shrugged, adjusting my cufflinks. Oh, and that comment at the gala, about me being lucky you brought me. I'm not lucky, I'm done. I met her eyes, calm but cold. Good luck. With the check, she lunged, grabbing my arm. Jake, wait, at least cover the bill. I looked at her hand, then her face, and said soft, let go. She did, trembling. I walked out, her shouts echoing. My name, please, curses. Behind me, the table erupted in murmurs, someone suggesting they split the cost. I didn't look back. By morning, my phone was a war zone. 30 missed calls, texts ranging from Tara begging forgiveness to threatening to ruin me. I'm sorry, I was stupid, let's talk. Then, you humiliated me. You'll regret this. I blocked her number. She showed up at my house that afternoon, banging on the door. I didn't open it. Through the window, I saw her pacing, mascara streaked, screaming about how I'd destroyed her life. I closed the blinds. Then, a twist I didn't see coming. 2 days later, I got a LinkedIn message from her coworker, the one from the gala. She apologized for the ride fiasco and dropped a bomb. Tara had been lying at work, claiming she led major campaigns when she was just a junior assistant. After the dinner, her boss launched an HR probe. And that guy at the dinner? A senior strategist Tara was secretly hooking up with. He dumped her the next day, not wanting the drama. I sat back, stunned. It wasn't just me she'd played. Tara's whole life was a house of cards, and I just flicked the first one. Tara's world was unraveling, and I was just starting to see how deep her lies ran. After her birthday dinner imploded, I thought I'd walk away clean, but the aftermath kept pulling me back in. Her desperate texts and voicemails didn't stop, even after I blocked her. She started calling from random numbers, leaving messages that swung from tearful apologies to venomous threats. Jake, I love you, please, let's fix this, one said. Another, hours later, you're a nobody. I'll make sure everyone knows it. I deleted them without listening to the end. 3 days after the Vino's showdown, I got a knock on my door. Not Tara this time. Her best friend Mia stood there, arms crossed, looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. Jake, can we talk? She asked, voice clipped. I let her in, curious but guarded. Mia and I had never been close. She was Tara's shadow, always giggling at her jokes, tagging along to brunches I paid for. Now she looked nervous, fiddling with her bracelet. Tara's a mess, Mia started, perched on my couch. She's crashing at my place, crying non-stop. She says you ruined her life. I leaned against the counter, arms folded. She called me her ride after 2 years, Mia. She used my card for a party I wasn't invited to. What did she expect? Mia winced, like she knew Tara was in the wrong but didn't want to admit it. She's complicated, okay? She's always been obsessed with looking perfect. But she's falling apart now. Her job's on the line. I nodded, remembering the LinkedIn message from Tara's coworker. The HR probe was digging into her lies about leading projects. Sounds like she did that to herself, I said, voice flat. Mia's eyes darted to the floor. There's more, Jake. She didn't tell you everything. My stomach twisted. Like what? Mia hesitated, then spilled. That guy at the dinner? The one she was cozy with? Derek, her coworker? They've been hooking up for months. She swore me to secrecy, but I think you deserve to know. The room felt smaller, air heavier. I'd suspected Tara was pulling away, but months? While I was paying her bills, planning a future? My jaw clenched, but I kept my tone steady. Anything else? Mia bit her lip. She bragged about using your card. Said you'd never notice, that you were too busy playing gardener to check your statements. That stung. Her mocking my work, my trust. I thanked Mia, kept it civil, and showed her out. Alone, I poured a coffee and sat, replaying every moment I'd ignored Tara's red flags. The next day, I checked my bank statements. Sure enough, there were charges I hadn't questioned. $200 here, $350 there, restaurants and boutiques I'd never been to. Not huge, but enough to add up. Tara had been treating my card like her personal ATM for months, small enough to slip under my radar. I felt like an idiot, but anger burned hotter than shame. She'd played me, and I wasn't letting it slide. Called my bank, explained the unauthorized charges. They flagged them, started a fraud investigation. I didn't mention the birthday dinner card. I'd given that to her, my mistake. But these other charges, fair game. The bank said it'd take weeks, but they'd likely refund me. It wasn't about the money. It was about making her face consequences. Then, another curveball. A week after Mia's visit, I got an email from Tara's company, of all places. Not Tara, her HR department requesting a meeting. I stared at the screen, pulse racing. Why me? I called the number, and the HR rep, Karen, was polite but vague. We're investigating some workplace conduct issues involving Tara. Your name came up. Can you come in? I agreed, intrigued and uneasy. What was Tara dragging me into now? Meeting was at their sleek downtown office, all glass and steel. Karen, a no-nonsense woman in her 50s, sat across from me with a notepad. Thanks for coming, Jake. We understand you and Tara were in a relationship? I nodded, keeping it brief. 2.5 years. Ended recently. She jotted something down. We're looking into discrepancies in Tara's expense reports. She claimed certain charges were for client events, but we've traced some to personal expenses. Your credit card was linked to a few. My blood ran cold. Tara hadn't just used my card for her shopping sprees. She'd funneled my money through her work account, passing it off as business expenses. Karen slid a document across the table, a list of charges. Some I recognized from my statements, others new. Did you authorize these? She asked. I shook my head, voice tight. Not these. She had access to my card, but I didn't know she was doing this. Karen's lips pressed thin. This could be serious. Potential fraud. We'll need your cooperation. I walked out of that meeting dizzy. Tara wasn't just a liar. She was reckless, risking her job and dragging me into her mess. Part of me wanted to call her, demand answers, but I held back. Let her dig her own grave. That night, I got a text from a mutual friend, Sam, who'd heard rumors. Dude, Tara's telling people you set her up, made her lose her job. She's spinning some wild story. I didn't respond. Tara was rewriting history, painting herself the victim. Classic. But the real shock came 2 days later. A package arrived at my door, no return address. Inside was a handwritten note from Tara. Not an apology, but a bombshell. Jake, you win. I'm leaving town. But you should know, I wasn't just with Derek. There was someone else too. Check your email. My heart sank. I opened my inbox, and there it was. An anonymous email with photos. Tara, smiling, arm in arm with a man I didn't recognize, at a rooftop bar. Time-stamped 6 months ago. The betrayal cut deeper than I expected, but the note's last line chilled me. You'll never know the whole truth. What was Tara hiding? And why send this now? Tara's note and the photos hit like a gut punch. But that last line, you'll never know the whole truth, kept me up all night. What game was she playing? Was this just her final jab? Or was there something bigger I was missing? The anonymous email, the mystery man, her sudden plan to skip town. It all felt like pieces of a puzzle I didn't want to solve but couldn't ignore. I poured a whiskey and stared at the photos, her smile mocking me from the screen. 6 months ago, she was already cheating, maybe longer. And now she was taunting me with it. The next morning, I forwarded the email to Sam, our mutual friend, hoping he'd know something. He called within minutes, voice tense. Jake, that guy in the photos? I've seen him before. He was at a bar with Tara last spring, some fancy place downtown. She said he was a client, but they were way too close for that. My stomach churned. Why didn't you tell me? Sam sighed. I didn't know for sure, man. Tara's always been slippery. I figured you'd see through her eventually. I hung up, anger simmering. Everyone saw her clearer than I did. I couldn't let it go. I dug through old texts, emails, anything that might clue me into who this guy was. Nothing. Then I remembered Tara's old Instagram. She'd deleted it after the Vino's disaster, but I had screenshots from a trip we took last year. I scrolled through, and there he was, in the background of a beach photo, half hidden behind a palm tree, watching her. Same sharp jawline, same expensive watch as the rooftop guy. This wasn't random. He'd been around for a while, and Tara had kept him hidden. I called the HR rep, Karen, to see if this tied to their investigation. She was curt, but confirmed Tara had been suspended pending a full audit of her expense reports. We've found more irregularities, Karen said. Some charges were linked to venues we don't use for clients. Hotels, restaurants, even a jewelry store. Your statement helped us connect the dots. I asked about the man in the photos, describing him. Karen paused. That sounds like someone we're looking into. A vendor Tara worked with closely. We'll follow up. A vendor? My mind raced. Was Tara funneling money to this guy through her fake expenses? Was he in on it? I felt like I was unraveling a conspiracy, each thread pulling me deeper into her lies. I needed answers, but Tara was gone. Her apartment cleared out, phone disconnected. Mia, her friend, wasn't answering my calls either. It was like Tara had vanished, leaving me to clean up her mess. Then another knock on my door a week after, the package. This time it was a man, mid-40s, graying hair, expensive coat, looking out of place in my quiet neighborhood. "Jake?" he asked, voice low. I nodded, wary. "I'm Richard, Tara's friend." My pulse spiked. Was this the rooftop guy? He didn't match the photos, but his vibe screamed trouble. "What do you want?" I asked, hand on the doorframe, ready to shut it. He held up a flash drive. "Tara left this with me, said you'd want to see it." I didn't touch it. Instincts, screaming trap. "Why should I trust you?" Richard's eyes flickered, not nervous, calculated. "You don't have to. But Tara's in deeper than you think. This'll explain some things." He set the drive on my porch railing and walked away, slipping into a black sedan that peeled off too fast. I stood there, staring at the drive, heart hammering. What the hell was Tara into? Against my better judgment, I plugged the drive into an old laptop, one I didn't care about losing to a virus. It held one video file, no label. I hit play. The screen flickered, then showed Tara sitting in what looked like a hotel room, her face pale, hair messy. She was talking to someone off camera, voice shaky. "I did what you asked, okay? The charges went through. Just don't tell anyone." A man's voice, smooth and cold, replied, "You're in too deep to back out. Now, Tara, keep him in the dark, or we're both done." The video cut off. My hands shook. Was him me? Or someone else? The man's voice didn't match Richard's, but it could have been the rooftop guy, or someone new. Tara wasn't just cheating or scamming. She was tangled in something dangerous. I copied the file, ejected the drive, and called Karen again, telling her about the video without mentioning Richard. "Send it to us," she said, voice tight. "This could escalate things." I emailed it, my mind spinning. Fraud was one thing. Blackmail or worse was another. That night, Sam texted again. "Heard from Mia. Tara's not just out of town, she's hiding. Word is she owes money not just to you." I pressed for details, but he didn't know more. I couldn't sleep picturing Tara's face in that video, scared but defiant. Part of me still cared, hated thinking she was in real danger. But the bigger part remembered her betrayal, her lies, her hand on that guy's arm at Vino's. She'd made her choices. The next morning I got a call from an unknown number. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. A woman's voice, clipped and professional. "Mr. Carter, this is Detective Lynn, City Fraud Division. We need to discuss Tara Ellis. Can you come to the station?" My heart stopped. Fraud Division. This wasn't just HR anymore. "What's this about?" I asked, throat dry. "We can't discuss it over the phone. Bring any evidence you have, photos, drives, anything." She hung up. I sat there, staring at the flash drive on my table. Tara's lies had caught up to her, but now they were dragging me into a storm I didn't understand. What had she done? And who was pulling the strings? The flash drive felt like a live grenade on my kitchen table. Tara's shaky voice from that video looped in my head. "I did what you asked. Don't tell anyone." Who was she talking to? And why was the Fraud Division calling me? I was just a guy who got played, not some mastermind in her schemes. But Detective Lynn's call had me rattled. I grabbed the drive, the photos, and my bank statements, stuffing them into a folder. Whatever Tara was into, I wasn't going down with her. At the police station, a gray brick building that smelled of stale coffee, Detective Lynn met me in a small office. She was mid-30s, sharp-eyed, with a no-BS vibe. "Thanks for coming, Mr. Carter," she said, motioning to a chair. "We're investigating Tara Ellis for potential fraud and embezzlement. Your name came up as a victim." My jaw tightened. Victim wasn't a word I liked, but it fit. I slid the folder across her desk. "This is everything. Photos, the video, charges she made on my card." Lynn's eyebrow flicked up at the mention of the video. I explained how Richard dropped it off, his cryptic warning about Tara being in deep. She plugged the drive into a secure laptop and played it, her face unreadable. When it ended, she leaned back. This is serious. The man's voice, we think we know who it is. Marcus Vale, a contractor Tara's company worked with. He's got a history of shady deals. My pulse spiked. The rooftop guy? Or someone else? Was he the one in the photos I sent? I asked. Lynn shook her head. No, that's someone else, likely another coworker. Tara was busy. The jab stung, but I stayed focused. What's she done exactly? Lynn tapped her pen. We believe Tara and Vale were skimming money from her company, using fake expense reports. Some charges hit your card, which she passed off as client costs. It's small potatoes compared to what they pulled, but it's enough to build a case. I felt sick. Tara wasn't just cheating, she was a criminal, and I'd been her unwitting ATM. How much are we talking? I asked. Lynn's eyes met mine. Hundreds of thousands, maybe more. Her company's audit tipped us off, and your evidence is helping. But there's a problem. Tara's gone. No trace since last week. My mind flashed to her note. I'm leaving town. Was she running from the cops or from Vale? Lynn asked if I'd heard from Tara. I showed her the blocked texts, the voicemails from random numbers. She took notes, then slid a card across the desk. If she contacts you, call me. Don't engage. She's desperate, and desperate people do stupid things. I nodded, but my head was spinning. As I left, Lynn's words echoed. Hundreds of thousands. Tara wasn't just reckless. She was dangerous. That night, I got a call from Mia, Tara's friend, her voice hushed. Jake, I shouldn't be telling you this, but Tara's in trouble. She showed up at my place last night freaking out. She said someone's after her, not just the cops. My grip tightened on the phone. Who? Mia hesitated. She wouldn't say, but she was scared. Like, really scared. Kept talking about a deal gone wrong. I pressed. Where is she now? Mia sighed. Gone again. Left this morning. I don't know where. I called Lynn, relayed Mia's story. She didn't sound surprised. Sounds like Vale. He's got connections, not the kind you mess with. If Tara crossed him, she's in over her head. I hung up, heart racing. Part of me wanted to find Tara, drag the truth out of her. But the smarter part knew she'd made her bed. Still, her note gnawed at me. You'll never know the whole truth. What was she hiding? The next day, I went through my old emails looking for anything I'd missed. Buried in a folder, I found a message from Tara sent months ago that I'd skimmed over. It was a forwarded receipt for a client dinner at a restaurant I'd never heard of. $800 charged to my card. Attached was a photo, blurry, of Tara and the rooftop guy laughing at a candlelit table. No clients in sight. The date matched a night she'd said she was working late. I forwarded it to Lynn, my chest tight with betrayal. Then, another shock. Sam texted me a screenshot from a private group chat, Tara's coworkers, venting about her. One message, from the gala coworker, read, Tara bragged about scamming her fiancé for months, said he was too simple to notice. She's disgusting. Simple. The word burned. I'd built a business, loved her fiercely, and she'd seen me as a mark. I sent the screenshot to Lynn, too. Every piece of evidence was another nail in Tara's coffin. But the real bombshell came that evening. I was locking up my house when a car pulled up, black sedan, same model Richard drove. No one got out. It idled for a minute, then sped off. My heart pounded. Was it Vale? Someone watching me? I called Lynn, who told me to stay vigilant and lock my doors. We're closing. In on Vale, she said. But if he's watching you, he knows you're helping us. I barely slept, jumping at every creak in the house. The next morning my mailbox had a new letter. No stamp, just my name scrawled in Tara's handwriting. Inside was a single sentence. I'm sorry, Jake. Get out before they find you. No signature. No explanation. My blood ran cold. Who were they? And why was Tara warning me now, after everything? I called Lynn, but her line was busy. I was alone, caught in a web I didn't weave, with Tara's shadow still haunting me. Tara's cryptic note, "Get out before they find you," sat like a stone in my gut. Who was they? Marcus Vale? The shady vendor? Someone worse? I called Detective Lynn again, voicemail full. My house felt like a trap. Every shadow, a threat after that black sedan cruised by. I packed a bag, ready to crash at Sam's if things got dicey, but I wasn't running. Tara had dragged me into her mess, and I needed answers. The next day, Lynn finally called. We found Tara, she said, voice clipped. She turned herself in last night. She's talking, but it's complicated. Can you come to the station? My heart raced. Tara caught? I grabbed the note and the flash drive, drove downtown, mind spinning. Was she confessing to save herself, or was this another game? At the station, Lynn looked exhausted. Files stacked on her desk. Tara's facing multiple charges. Fraud, embezzlement, maybe more, she said. She's been working with Vale for over a year, skimming money from her company through fake invoices. Your card was collateral damage. She used it to cover gaps when Vale's payments lagged. I clenched my jaw. And the video? The guy she was scared of? Lynn nodded. Vale. He pressured her to keep the scheme going, threatened to expose her if she didn't. She was terrified but too deep to quit. I handed over the note. Lynn's eyes narrowed. They could be Vale's associates. He's tied to some rough people. Loan sharks, off-the-books investors. Tara crossed them when she started skimming extra for herself. My stomach dropped. Tara wasn't just a liar. She'd played a dangerous game and lost. Is she safe? I asked, hating that I still cared. Lynn shrugged. She's in custody. Safer than on the run. Then came the kicker. Lynn slid a photo. Across the desk, the rooftop guy from Tara's email, smiling at a bar. This is Ethan Cole, another co-worker. Tara was seeing him romantically, but he wasn't in on the fraud. Vale, though? He used Tara's affairs to keep her loyal, threatening, to leak them to her boss. I stared at the photo, betrayal burning fresh. Tara hadn't just cheated with one guy. She'd juggled multiple, all while using my money to fund her double life. Lynn leaned forward. Tara's cooperating, naming names. Vale's in the wind, but we're close. That sedan you saw? Probably one of his guys, checking if you're a threat. Stay low, Jake. We'll handle it. I nodded, but fear clung to me like damp clothes. I wasn't a criminal, yet I was dodging shadows because of Tara's greed. Driving home, I felt hollow. 2.5 years, and I'd been a pawn in her schemes, her simple landscaper, too trusting to see the truth. But anger was giving way to clarity. I'd survived her. I'd helped expose her. That was enough, or so I thought. That night, another letter arrived, slipped under my door. No name, just a typed message. Back off, or you're next. My blood ran cold. I called Lynn, who sent a patrol car to sweep my street. No sign of the sedan, but I wasn't taking chances. I crashed at Sam's, sleeping on his couch, the note burning a hole in my pocket. Was it Vale, one of his goons, or Tara, still pulling strings? A week later, Lynn called with an update. Vale's been arrested. Found him hiding in a motel upstate. Tara's testimony sealed it. Relief hit, but it was short-lived. She's pleading guilty to lesser charges, Lynn added. Might get 3 years, maybe less with good behavior. I didn't know how to feel. Justice, sure, but it didn't erase the scars. What about the note? I asked. Lynn sighed. Probably Vale's crew trying to scare you. They're scattering now. You should be clear. Should be. Not exactly comforting. I moved back home, installed a security system, and started rebuilding. My business was thriving. New clients, bigger projects. I even went on a date with a graphic designer, Sarah, who laughed at my bad puns and asked real questions about my work. No jabs about my Jeep, no hidden agendas. It felt honest. Then, one last twist. A month after Vale's arrest, a courier dropped off a package at my office. Inside was a check for $2,300 made out to me, and a letter from Tara's parents. Jake, it read. We're horrified by what Tara did. This is for the dress, the charges, everything we could cover. She's in prison now, starting over. We raised her to chase status, and we failed her. You didn't deserve this. The check came from Tara selling her designer clothes, her parents said. A small step toward accountability. I stared at the check, torn. The money didn't fix the betrayal, the fear, the nights I'd questioned myself. But it was something. I cashed it, donated half to a local charity, and kept moving forward. Tara's voice still echoed sometimes, her simple taunt, her fake tears. But it was fading. She'd shown me who she was, and I'd believed her too late. Never again. Now when I drive past Vino's, I don't flinch. That night, exposing her in front of her coworkers, was my line in the sand. It wasn't just petty revenge, it was me taking back my life. Tara's in a cell, Vale's locked up, and I'm free. Sometimes the truth costs everything, but it's worth it to know who you are. And here it is, the finale of today's story. Did everything turn out as you imagined? Or did it end unexpectedly? I'd love to hear what you think. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's dive into the discussion together. If this story kept you in suspense, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? This is your chance to join an incredible community where exciting new stories unfold every day. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date. Thanks for your attention, and see you on your new adventures.